Been a lot of fun here in the studio on a foggy Monday. It's your boy Big Vernon App Stupid. Had a lot of fun. If you're just joining us for the first time, please visit the prior segments. There's Alabama and Georgia. Our thoughts on that game, Louisville and Notre Dame. We got ourselves a rivalry. We need a rubber match. Dame's got a victory. The Villes got a victory. Like I said, the trilogy, we got to settle it. Then we talked some Kansas State. They just beat the brakes off Oklahoma State at will. That wasn't even close. And then Kentucky, they shocked the SEC world when they beat Ole Miss. So congratulations to Mark Stoops. Get our thoughts on that. And final segment of Survivor Saturday to me. Miami versus Virginia Tech. And did Miami get a gift in this game? Because they were up for the challenge. And again, I can't say it enough. Shout out to the commissioner of the ACC, because he has a lot of sneaky good teams in the ACC where anybody can get beat by anybody on any given Saturday. So shout out to them. Not through the air. Like I said, Cam Ward was just lighting it up. I'm not going to hold you. That dude is pretty much one of those Heisman finalists. He's in the conversation. Easily. Miami gave up 206 yards on the ground in rushing. You can't do that. Also, third down efficiency for both teams was really well. This was a really evenly matched game that had a lot of breakthrough plays, a lot of big plays, and at some point you're just like, they got away with one. And you hate to feel like that, but Kyron Drones is, oh my goodness, this dude is out here. He was playing. He was a major player in that game. I know you can sit there and look at 954 yards, not really hot for the year, or 6 TDs, and then you got 4 interceptions. Make no mistake about it. Kyron Drones can play football flat out. His opposite counterpart, again, Cam Ward, they dialed up 38 throws for him, 343, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He even pulled his number down 10 times. He called his own number and ran for 57 yards and a score. Threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for a touchdown. This dude was doing it all. He was doing it all. The high man in the wide receiver room for the Miami Hurricanes was Elijah Arroyo. So, yeah, he was doing everything he wanted to. But, again, did they get a gift? And if you go back and you look at that Hail Mary play, you're just like, hell yeah, they got a gift. Because there's no way you can look at that objectively and see them pull the ball in. The game is over. The back judge is he's stuck. And the guy from Virginia Tech, he has the ball in his hand only to be ripped away by Miami. Now, going into it, when I said the beatdown, we had that segment, the beatdown 101. We were talking about how Miami was this huge favorite over Virginia Tech. And from what I saw, Virginia Tech had so much fight in that dog. It was like, wow. They wasn't scared. They was not scared of Miami in the Orange Bowl. They went right after them. And it just, like I said, they had a 17-point second quarter. They were not scared of the challenge. They were not scared of the challenge at all. They had the lead on Florida State. They had the lead on Florida State after, not Florida State, Miami. Jesus Christ. They had the lead on Miami at halftime. At halftime, they were beating Miami in Miami. But again, just a couple of plays here. I believe they got jobbed. But shout out to Miami. What does this mean going forward for the Canes? We'll talk about that when we come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, Subway, eat fresh, refresh. So when we last left off, we were looking forward for the Canes. Looking forward for them. They play Cal. That is a dangerous game. Fernando Mendoza, for everything that goes on when I talked about Cal being one of the teams nobody's talking about, how they play really good defense and they cause turnovers like no tomorrow. Then they play Louisville in L&N. That's a landmine game. If Miami loses to Louisville, they get it back. They got to play Florida State at home. So that's going to be a beating. But Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake, and then at the end, the finale against Syracuse, they can't lose to Louisville. They can, trust me, anybody can beat anybody. However, if they lose to Louisville, they don't have an opponent and a strength of schedule that will condone Miami getting into the ACC championship game. They don't have a strength of schedule that would put them in the college football championship game or a championship playoff series. There's not enough teams. They don't have big resumes. So looking at where they are right now, Louisville is it for them. Duke, not going to do anything for your schedule. Georgia Tech, Wake, Syracuse, Florida State, that all means nothing. Florida State was overranked and overvalued for a reason. Now Florida State is struggling. They're getting their head kicked in every week in, week out. And I don't think that's a game anybody's looking forward to. And if you're at Virginia Tech going forward, Virginia Tech, they've got game coming up with Stanford. That's going to be an ugly game. We talked about Stanford running that 2-4-5 defense that's predicated on stopping the run. They play ugly. They just lost to Clemson. Then they'll beat Boston College at home. Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, that's going to be pretty much who's coming down to the last play with the ball. That's going to be a lot of points. Syracuse, they get Clemson late, and that's at Virginia Tech. That game could be a trap game right there because that would already have happened where Clemson played Louisville. Now, if Clemson loses to Louisville and they lose to an unranked Virginia Tech, now that blows up Clemson's season of getting into that college playoff or even them making it to the ACC championship game. The Dukes and Virginias of the world, that's not going to do anything for you. Not going to do anything for you at all. So going forward, like I said, congratulations to Mario Cristobal and company down in South Florida. The Miami Hurricanes have pulled it out. However, it was a gift. I still think Virginia Tech, that was a solid catch. However, like I say, who knows? Well, that's the show. So thank you to everybody for subscribing, sharing, and liking the content. Enjoy your afternoon and your evening. And we will be back on Wednesday. This your boy,